Well, hi, everybody. This is DearMamaSal, and this is Soul Sunday. And for those of you who might be new to the broadcast, let me just explain. On Sundays, we just bring the whole temperature of our broadcast right down. We almost do a meditation. What we're trying to do is to set ourselves up. Oh, no. I'm just sorry, somebody just told me no sound. Okay. So let me. Okay, what about now? Thank you. Hi, everybody. This is DearMamaSal. And just to let everybody know, today is Soul Sunday. And what I want you to know is that on Soul Sundays, we just bring the temperature right down and do almost a meditation. It's the idea is to set ourselves up for the week. And I just want to say hello to Beth, to Ali, to Lauren, and to Jody. Great to see you all. And let's just take a moment and forget about everything that went on this week and just see whether we can concentrate on the positive. I decided, as I quote Louise Hay quite a bit in terms of things that are going on in your body. She wrote an incredible book called You Can Heal Your Life. And I would really recommend, if you haven't seen it or got it or looked at it, please do so. And Jody, perhaps you can remind me to put a link in for that one. So I just want to start by her first affirmation. She does some really beautiful affirmations. And if ever you're trying to sort of change your negative thinking into a more positive thought, you might want to just check out her website and, just look at some of the affirmations that she has. I found one that said, love is powerful. Your love and my love. So how many of you agree that, to be in love with yourself is a very powerful thing? So what I'd like to do is just on this Soul Sunday is for a moment forget about all the bad things about you and let's concentrate on the good ones. And, we've all got good stuff and bad stuff. It's, you're not the only one with this, right? We all have that in our lives. So let's concentrate a little bit more this week on the good stuff. How about this one? I take walks in the sunshine to invigorate my body and soul. I take walks in the sunshine to invigorate my body and soul. I would like to suggest that even here in the Pacific Northwest where I live in southern British Columbia in Canada, it's getting pretty rainy every day here. And that doesn't mean that I can't go for a walk. And it doesn't mean that I can't go for a walk in the sunshine. If I imagine the sunshine, as I'm walking, if I wear my sweats, which repel water, I will hardly even notice that it's raining. And maybe I take sunshine type songs, along to walk to. You see, it's all possible if you're in the right frame of mind. Yeah, and Beth is saying here, go through the bad. Going through the bad makes you better in the end. Yes, it's one of the quotes that I love from Louise Hay, where she actually says that everything that you experience is there for a reason. You need to experience it for your own growth. And I think that's so true. How about the affirmation for those of you who have various things going on? My body takes me everywhere easily and effortlessly. Right? You see, it is possible if you imagine it so Some of you will know that I noticed I was having severe problems and pain lifting my left leg. And it's been getting progressively worse. And what I decided was I can either complain about it or do something about it. And what I decided to do is every day I go to the kitchen and I lift my knees up to the level of the counter. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, I literally lift my knees up to the counter level and down again. And what I found is at the beginning, I couldn't lift my left leg to even halfway. Now I can get all the way. I'm so proud. So you understand, it's not what life gives you, it's what you do about what life gives you. Right, and Ali is saying that it's pouring rain here, but it makes me calm. I feel better in the rain than in the sun. Yeah, and Beth is agreeing. Isn't that wonderful? Beth is saying that I'm also off tomorrow and it's going to pour with rain. I see myself in my robe, drinking coffee and watching the rain fall. I can't wait until, yeah, you can wait until tomorrow, Beth. Believe me, do not tell your body that you can't wait until tomorrow. It's amazing what can happen instead. So yes, you can. You are looking forward to tomorrow. Did you understand the difference? All right, so how about this one? What does this one bring up for you? Just take a moment. Life brings me only good experiences. I am open to new and wonderful changes. What does that bring up for you? Life brings me only good experiences. I am open to new and wonderful changes. That really hits me at the level of, doing, some of you know that I'm in the process of trying to sell my house. And the situation that I have at the moment is that the buyer needs to have sold their house by the end of October. I don't know about you, that's getting pretty darn close. And there is this, how many of you can imagine, I've got this little gremlin sitting on my shoulder going, yeah, but what if? Can any of you imagine that? Like, hello. Because if they don't sell by the end of October, it means that the deal collapses and I'm back at square one. But my, nest egg is just about depleted. So, there's part of me that goes, life brings me only good experiences. Think about that, all right? Maybe this is good for me at some level. I just haven't seen how yet. But it's a really important thing, I believe, to balance life and to see it that way and just go, apparently I can cope with this. I didn't think I could, but apparently I can. So do any of you have something that comes up for you when you hear life brings me only good experiences? All right, so Ali's saying, I usually have about 3 gremlins on my shoulders, reminding me of things that might go wrong. Yeah, Ali, can you see that they are there for good reason? They are trying to make sure that you've got a plan B. Does that make sense? It's not really negative unless you want to see it that way. They're just checking, do you have a plan B and C? Because sometimes even plan B goes wrong. And so that's what I've learned to do, is to listen to that voice and go, okay, you're not settled yet. You still think that I need a better plan. And so let me, have a look and see whether my ducks are in a row. And by the way, do I have choices? I always have choices, right? I have the choice to maybe extend the deal, give them another month. I don't know. And there are lots of options in life if you want there to be, or it's very cut and dried if you want it to be. All right, so how many of you, thank you, Beth. How many of you need to hear this particular affirmation? I draw love and acceptance into my life, and I accept it now. I draw love and acceptance into my life, and I accept it now. You see, I realize that so often in life, it is the mindset that we're in on any given day that affects how we listen to things, how we react to things. So if we can start each day saying to ourselves, I will draw love and acceptance into my life, do you understand that it sets you up for a much better day? And hi, Jean, good to see you, and really good to see you. Good. I see that you're saying that the weather in Maine is warm and lovely. And you went out to a few yard sales. Right. Now, if I remember correctly, you've got those gorgeous doggies. And so this time of year is always good dog weather, I think. The rustling of the leaves, and for those of you who are in the Northern Hemisphere. And Jody is saying, I'm trying to embrace the lessons learned, where there's a frustrating situation, trying to turn the negative into a positive, and be thankful for the learning. And Jean is giving thanks for the fact that her husband is healing from his stroke. Jody, could you just make a note for that so that I could just let people know that? And by the way, for those of you who know Lizzie, I chatted with her, and she had the other scan that she needed to have, and she's doing fine. Just thought I'd let you know that. And Jean's also saying that they are now new grandparents. Isn't it amazing how life brings you one, sort of shock to the heart and then joy to the heart? I always think that's amazing how that happens. I'd like you to think a moment on this one. Just take a deep breath and think about this for a second. Today is the future I created yesterday. Today is the future that I created yesterday. You know what I've noticed in terms of what future did I create yesterday? I've noticed that I am a lot tighter than I was a year ago, people. Right? I am so used to doing showings of my house now that I've taught myself to be tidy. And in fact, I'm getting to the stage where, it upsets me if it isn't. Isn't it amazing? So for that, I'm very, very grateful. And Jean's saying that she's off to visit baby Lucy in Manchester in the UK in October. That's a lovely trip. And listen to this affirmation and tell me what it brings up for you. Louise Hay said, I choose to feel good about myself each day. Every morning, I remind myself that I can make the choice to feel good. This is a new habit for me, one to cultivate. So how many of you can say that to yourself? I choose to feel good about myself. And how many of you can say it every day? I find, Ali, when you talk about the 2 or 3 gremlins, I listen to them and I sometimes say to them, I need you to back off. I need to feel good about myself today. I have a lot going on. I don't have a lot of mind space for the negative today. And it's funny, Ali, how many times they just run away because I'm going, I don't have time or space. How many of you understand that sometimes you're so busy with other things, you need to not give space to the negative today, right? If you want to come and talk to me tomorrow when I'm not quite as busy, that's okay. I'll listen to you. But today, do me a favor, back off. How many of you need this one? My income is constantly increasing. Hi, Tube. Good to see you as well. My income is constantly increasing. Well, guess what? Beth very kindly made a donation of $20 for the work that I do. And I want to tell you that was a very big surprise. And how wonderful. Thank you so much, Beth. And, I'm thinking that is so wonderful because that will help me pay for the website and a little bit, it goes a long way when you're retired. So I am very, very grateful. Thank you. I am in perfect health today. I am in perfect health today. Beth, you have every reason to get up every morning and go, well, I got MS, so I'm not healthy enough to go to work. And you don't. You do more than most. I think you do more than most 2 people. Never mind 1. And I listened to Jody, who has been struggling so much with her health issues, and yet I listen to what she's up to these days. She's busy practicing walking. She is busy going back and doing her leg lifts. Jody, how much weight have you lost now? Yes, and Jean's so thankful that her husband is better so that they can both enjoy the trip together. I think that's wonderful. And so Jody, just by doing those little things, not being able to go out and go for a walk like so many of us, you've lost 110 pounds now. And Beth, on the opposite scale, because you have the problem, which is you expend so much energy that you wear off your weight, are you still managing to keep within your ideal weight? You're holding steady at 100. I'm so proud of you, really, Beth, because that's, when I think about the opposites, it's like Jody lost 100, but you managed to find out how many calories a day you need because of the amount that you burn. Tell me something. How many calories a day is that? Do you know now? And has having a Fitbit help? A fitness watch. All right. So Jean is saying that she fights kidney stones by drinking lots of water and using prayer. Yes, there's a lot to be said for that, isn't there? There's a lot to be said for both of those, Jean. All right, so listen to this one. Do you put in 3,000 calories a day or do you expend 3,000 calories a day, Beth? Because I think that's the important thing to know. It's like you can eat, 2,000 calories a day or 3,000 if you're burning off more than that. But if you're only burning off 500, eating 1,000 calories a day is going to put on weight. you understand? I thought I'd mention that I've managed to up my steps every day this last week. I averaged over 5,000 steps a day, which for me was an improvement. And I did it in very small ways, and I thought I would just talk about that. Number one is I did walk around the block once. I've got a big block, by the way. It's a 20-minute block. I did go down to halfway and back once this week. But the biggest thing I did that I found helped me is I found lots of reasons to go downstairs. You know, I live on the top part of my house. I found lots of reasons to go downstairs. You know, instead of putting a lot of tasks together and going down once and doing them, which is my time management mind, I just went, no, I've got to stop doing that. I need to go down once to go empty the garbage. And I'm going to empty the garbage every day, not a couple of times a week. I'm going to empty it every day because that gets me down the stairs and back up again. And then I did another trip down to my car to work on 1/4 of my car, just to tidy it up and get it ready for the fall. Amazing what you find. No, let me reword that. Horrific what you find. And then, you know, I another trip to go and water the plants that are under the eaves and don't get the rain. You know, I'm finding reasons to go downstairs. Why? A flight of stairs down and a flight of stairs up. I can do that 5 times a day. That's building muscle. And so the other thing is, I stopped spending my day in my bedroom working on my computer. I did something really strange. And I wonder if any of you can think about this. I moved during the day, my phone goes to my washroom. And I'll explain why. During the day, my tablet goes to the kitchen. And then my laptop stays in the bedroom. And what I try to do is not use my laptop during the day if I can. I only use it when I stop to eat. And I actually find that having the laptop in the kitchen, I stand and I put a lot of notes in. Plus, I don't get distracted by my computer and YouTube and answering emails and everything else. And I'm standing, not sitting or lying down on my bed and working. Does that make sense? And then, you know, I have one in the washroom. So when I go there, you know, I find that I'm allowing myself to use that as my research time and my, and my, plan my daytime. Because if I'm going to go there and sit down anyway, I might as well do a bit of work. And it's amazing. It has upped my steps by, I would say, about 2,000 a day by not sitting down on my bed and getting distracted by my laptop. So think about that. So Ali's saying, my job is physically exhausting, but it hasn't helped me lose weight. I already have a strict diet, so now I walk home after work. 45 minutes of hills, that's amazing. God, you're really going to build some muscle. Do you also move your hands, Ali? I find when I do the short walk, I try to do this with my hands, and I turn them in and out, and, like this. And, if I can also try and do this as I walk, just to try and make sure that I am exercising my spine a bit, because I realized that started to seize up. All right, so Tube is asking me, did your wiper blades, did I wipe them down with alcohol? I made a video doing that. Should try and do it every year. Yes, I want to tell you something, that is still my most popular video. Did you know that, Boo? It's amazing. Let me find out, because it's always interesting to me to see it. that one video has, really been what I call a sleeper. Windshield wipers. If you type squeaky windshield wipers into your browser and look for the videos, mine is still the first one. Yay. And let me see. Oops. No, shush. Just want to see how many views it's had now. 219,000. Isn't it amazing? Such a small little video. How many minutes was it? It's less than 5 minutes. Isn't it amazing? So we can learn a lesson here. I certainly, my second one is the Swiffer duster. I know. Isn't it exciting, Beth? And I still get people write to me and thank me for that Swiffer duster all the time. All right. And Tube's also saying, if you want to get more exercise but don't want to spend more time, carry weights. A couple of soup cans, work really well. And, Boop Tube saying to me, car repair is my thing. Well, I think that's wonderful. Jean is saying that they have a nightly prayer list of people who need God's love. And we say their names and ask for help. I know Jody does as well. And, that is pretty awesome. I start my day with a prayer and a meditation. Yes, Beth. Beth saying that, Sal, your videos will help people long after you're gone. That was always my goal, Beth, was to spend what years I had left putting down the videos that I hoped would continue to help people. And by the way, I don't know if this makes any sense. They probably will make really serious money one day. And so what I have done is I have included the videos and my YouTube channel in my estate. Does that make sense? And, I will bequeath the income that it gets to somebody else. Because I would think 10 years from now, I hope I'm still around. But, 20 years from now, I think, exponentially those numbers will increase dramatically. If you think about it, I'm just trying to see how many the channel has done. Yeah, we've had 1,270,000 views on the channel. And to me, this is like, even if we only helped a few a little bit, can you think about how many people we must have helped? Well, isn't that wonderful? Beth's also saying, I find it comforting knowing that you will always be just a click away. I have a feeling, Beth, at this time of our relationship, if I can word it that way, that you probably hear me without having to click anywhere. And Tube is saying that not many people think about that. Do you mean, Tube, do you mean not many people think about the residual after, to bequeath their YouTube channel? I did it. I have to tell you, so, how they always say, if you want to be successful, think like that. I want to tell you, I wrote that into my will, and I set it up on YouTube my very first year. And Beth is saying, you will You will be with me all the time. What would Sal do? Breathe. Take a moment to gather your thoughts. Yeah. And you know, sometimes, Beth, I have to remind myself to do a Beth. You know, you could speed up a bit here, Sal. You know, you could use a few more calories. So you understand part of the joy of running Dear Mama Sal is I can sit and spin. Thanks, Jody. I can sit here and know that not only do I help you, but you guys help me as well. Right, how about this one? I feel safe in the rhythm and flow of my ever-changing life. Do you feel safe? Jody, do you feel more safe than you did a year ago? And Beth, how about you? And Jean, with all that's been going on in your life, do you feel more safe? More able to cope with what life throws at us? Because I believe that when we can see that life is always going to have these ups and downs, and our job is to try as far as we can to keep bringing ourselves back to the middle. You know, don't go up too high. You know, learn the skills to bring yourself back to a middle ground. Don't go low too far. Learn the skills to bring yourself up to middle ground. And if you have learned both those, you will stay in balance a lot more. I can honestly say in the last few years, I've done a lot of that in very small ways, but very important ways. How about this one? How many of you can honestly say, and let me know what comes up in your mind when you hear this? I love myself just the way I am. I love myself just the way I am. In other words, I don't need to constantly criticize myself because I've got a lot of unfinished projects. I don't have to beat up on myself because I don't cook as well as the next person, or I don't put on my makeup as well as somebody else, or you know, all those things. I just am me. I am unique. I know that. I am unique. And so are you. Yes, and Tube is reminding us the wonderful quote from Popeye, I am what I am. Beep, beep. And, you know, it's important to love yourself. No, it doesn't mean you can't improve. Wow. And Jean's saying, I thought of you recently when I cleaned a guest bedroom and office. Yeah, cleaning, you will think of me. Jean, I've got... Okay. I've got two little pictures that I took of what I found under my fridge and my stove. You know, I definitely am going to have that on my seasonal list. Pull out the fridge and the stove and clean what's underneath there. I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether I've got the courage to put up the photographs, but being who I am, I probably will. You know, I'll put it on one of the vlogs just so that you guys can feel. I was horrified what was under there. Yes, I know that dear Darby died last year at the age of 14. And do you know, and my dog Buddy, that was before Bean Bean, he died this time of the year as well. So I am missing him to some degree, but so grateful to have enjoyed him. And I'm sorry that I don't think anybody got to meet him. How about this one? What I wanted to know was, can you look in the mirror and say, I am comfortable looking in the mirror and saying, I love you. I really love you. And how many of you, if I can continue that thought, how many of you can look in the mirror and add, I am so proud of you and what you are attempting to do? I want to go back. Jodi's saying that yes, she feels more safe and her anxiety about the future has decreased. The panic attacks are just about gone. Still a little fearful, but less so. That is awesome. Let me just scroll back a bit here. Jodi said that that I had done an excellent job. My self-care. I always look for options, not excuses. And that has helped change my life by adopting that thinking too. I am working really hard not to give excuses anymore. I still fall into that trap, Jodi. So, feel free, if you hear one, feel free to go, -1. But I really am working hard not to give excuses because I find my life is better when I don't. And I smiling, Jean saying that she's got somebody coming in to dog sit while they're going away. And she wanted to clean up her house ready for that. She wanted a cleaner home. Yeah, it's amazing how we will clean our houses for other people, right? I am trying to get into a rotation of cleaning. It's been a while since I have cleaned under my oven and my obviously my fridge, and I want to get that into a seasonal routine that I do that. All right, so Ali's saying it's only been this year that I've learned to love myself and be proud. I still have some off days though. Ali, welcome to being a human being, right? We all will have some off days, but if you're really lucky, you will come in here every now and then and remind yourself, hey, right? All right? It's okay. I'm allowed an off day. I have Jodi in my life who, when I lost control of my blood sugar regimen while my brother was here, was so quick to tell me not to worry and that I would be back under control very quickly after he left. And I want to tell you something, Ali. I didn't believe it, to be quite honest. I thought I had done irreparable damage. And the funny thing is, it's a week later and I'm back under control. So thank you, Jodi, for being there for me when I got scared, because it was scary for me. Yeah, Tube saying, the good reason, the good motivation to clean under your oven or under your fridge is you could find the winning lottery ticket there. You'd have to have bought one first. Jean, I missed the context there. Who is generous to do what? I missed that context. This is a new day. I begin anew and I claim and create all that is good. And so it is. Right? If you could say that to yourself every morning, this is a new day. Yesterday's gone, tomorrow hasn't arrived yet. This is a new day for me. I'm going to begin anew and claim and create all that is good. How many of you have found that you wake up with that idea sometimes and then there's a robocall or a scam call, and it can ruin your day if you don't keep control. I have found that getting angry at the scam calls didn't help me. Slamming the phone down on them, and something I don't do, but I would say, I'm sorry, I need to put the phone down, and I'd put the phone down. But now I just take a deep breath when I hear the scam, this is you about your Microsoft computer. And I always say, that's really interesting. Which one? What? Which one? Your Microsoft computer. Yeah, well, I have 3. And if I hear, them start to, and you know what I say next? I am so sorry that your life is in a way that you need to do the job you're doing. I will pray that you get the emotional strength to go find a real job where you don't have to scam people. Have a great night. Right? Because, if you think about it, everybody that gets up your nose and wrinkles your feathers, everybody has a reason for doing what they do. And maybe they deserve a little bit of our time and effort. So I've decided I'm going to wish the best for the scammers. Because, if enough people said, I will not do this, it's a scam, maybe we wouldn't get as many calls. By the way, I do not recommend having your name at the beginning of the alphabet. I think we get more. How many of you feel this way? I am a joyful breeze entering a room. Do any of you feel like that? When you enter a room, do people smile? Or do you find them going, Yeah, too. I agree with you. I think it has to be a sad job where you spend your day calling people and scamming them. What does it do to your karma? But if you can look past that and go, how desperate must you be to earn money to do the job? You know what I'm saying? How desperate must you be to be prepared to do such a job? One of the things that I have been trying to get the viewers to see over the course of the last year particularly is how much drama we allow in our life, right? If we allow drama in our life, then we are party to it. How many of you have noticed that as you learn your emotional intelligence, as you improve that, you just don't want the drama around you anymore? Jean is saying, I look at what are my good points. I am a decent organizer. Yes. And you're a great dog lover. And you must know how to keep warm in winter. You love to show your love by cooking for others. Yes, Jody does that a lot too. And so, I think that we all have ways of improving on a daily basis. And part of that improvement is to have more love for ourselves, because when we love ourselves more, we will automatically love other people more. How many of you smile as I read this one? Just listen to this. We are all family, and the planet is our home. We are all family. This group within DearMamaSal, you probably never realized that you could have an extended family in your life. And they could meet up 3 times a week. And you could tell them your problems and they would care. Right? Because for some of us, our family is the one that we were given. And for some of us, the family we were given was in fact our burden. And so, the interesting thing is that we are all family. I am so proud of all the young people who are out demonstrating about climate change at the moment. Yay! If the politicians won't listen, let's make a big noise, because the young people are saying, it's our future you're playing with, people. Wake up. And it's our children's future that may not be here. And I think it's wonderful. And I think it all started with a young man after Sandy Hook or whatever, David somebody or rather, who started that protest around the world within 24, within a week, he had millions of people protesting. One person made that much difference. And I think he in turn has inspired so many others. Yeah, you're right. It's harder to hate than it is to love. Hate takes work and love comes naturally. All right. Whilst I understand that to be true, have you noticed that if you are feeling insecure, hate actually comes naturally? You are more likely to go down that path than the love path. If somebody says, are you busy on Friday? And you are already in a negative mood, you're going, why? What haven't I done? Whereas if you're in a love mode, then you'll go, why? Are we going to get together? See, it depends where you are as to which one comes more easily. So I assure you that I would have to have compassion for those where love does not come naturally to them at the moment because of their fear or because of their circumstances. Actually, it's only two real emotions, right? Jampolsky said that love and fear, and love is letting go of fear. So you're absolutely right. And there are days when I need to remember that. All right, so are you able to say to yourself, even for a second every day, I am pain-free and totally in sync with life? When I was having pain lifting my left leg to get it into the Jeep recently, I remember saying to myself, I don't like that pain. It doesn't feel good to me. And then the gremlin on my shoulder said, so what are you going to do about it? Okay? And I went, I guess I'm going to need to strengthen some muscles. And if it doesn't improve, I'm going to need to talk to the doctor about it. I don't want to. And Ali is saying, I had to teach myself how to show love and compassion to people who I naturally have negative feelings toward. Ali, I don't think you naturally have negative feelings towards them. I think they have done things that you have allowed to upset you. Would that be true? That's where the negative comes in. Oh, Jean, so the thing you're saying, it was a nice thing for me to do, to bequeath my body of work on YouTube to somebody else? Well, what a waste to not do that, was what I thought. Yeah, and look at you, Jean. You're saying you make great Italian sandwiches for the folks at the veterinary hospital, right? And I'm sure they love you for it. All right, how about this one? I am at home in my body. All is well. It was strange because I was looking at my weight this morning. It's Sunday, and I am trying to take that as my benchmark weight for the week. And I was trying to do, is it BMI? Is that the right word? I was trying to work that out. And, it still tells me I am obese. Well, I want to tell you something. I think I am one of the best looking obese 72-year-olds I know. Do you understand? I say that in the mirror. I'm going, well, you may be obese and you may be 72, but boy, you're doing just fine. And I think that is part of being okay with yourself. By the way, people always commenting about my nails, and one of the things I say to them, do you know that I bit my nails for most of my life? Can any of you believe that? I used to chew my nails right down to the quick. I mean, I was chewing on them all the time. And I think I was well into my 20s before a really great looking guy stopped me at a party and said, how come such a beautiful woman chews her nails? And I went, what? And I realized that chewing my nails was a sign of my insecurity, of my nervousness, of my fear, of my past. I had good reasons. And that man, I have no idea, never saw him again. Maybe he was sent, maybe he was a messenger, because I never saw him again. But I have thanked him so many times in my life, because that was the time I started to work on not chewing my nails. And it took me another 50 years to stop smoking. But I managed to do that as well, and it was just like everything in its own time. And that's the next affirmation. Everything in my life works now and forevermore. I am so grateful that even though, some of my muscles are not working as well as they used to, I'm glad they still work, most of them. And if I bother to spend the time to do more with them, they will work even better. I had, thank you, Jody. I had, I think 4 hours sleep last night for one reason or another. And that's unlike me. I normally get at least 7 or 8. I try to at least 7. And, I sort of woke up and I went, I am so glad that I learned how to live life with only 4 hours sleep. One of the things I learned as a professional speaker was that some days, 4 hours is going to be all you get. And you need to still be able to perform. Do it for too many days in a row, or in a week, or in a month, and you will get sick. But you still have to perform. So I learned very early on in my speaking career that the amount of sleep I get is as good as I got, and I can perform without the normal amount of sleep. I just don't want to do it too often. Jody, I was thinking that really relates back to the sugar thing, right? Hey guys, I had, 2 days ago? I had a Mars bar for the first time. For the first time since December. I had a whole Mars bar. And then I saw a vanilla slice. That's the one with icing on top, and then puff pastry. And then custard, and then more puff pastry. And it had my name on it. And it was only about this big. And I went, I can have that. I can have that. And I'm going, but you just inhaled a Mars bar. And I went, I know. But I can have that. As long as I balance it. And you know the most peculiar thing? The next morning, my blood sugar went down. Apparently for me, eating Mars bars and vanilla slices is good. So listen to this next affirmation. It says, today I create a wonderful new day and a wonderful new future. With the help that I've had from people like Jody and Lauren and everybody else helping me with my blood sugar knowledge, I realize that I can create a wonderful new future. And guess what? It can include the occasional Mars bar. It can include, a vanilla slice. I didn't realize that. Didn't know I could get away with a vanilla slice. Just one about this big. It was so good. And I'm getting, a little bit fearful because we're getting a bit close to Halloween, and that's not easy for me. But it's going to be easier because I have more control. I go beyond barriers to possibilities. Yep, I think I do. I think I do go beyond barriers and look for possibilities. One of the things you will remember that I said when I got diagnosed as pre-diabetic was, don't tell me what I can't do. Tell me what I can. I did not want to dwell on the negative of that. I wanted to work on what can I do? What can I still enjoy? Apparently a Mars bar. Not too often. Don't tell me what I can't have. Tell me what I can. Because when you can fill up your menu with things you can have, it looks a whole lot more interesting than, oh, well, I'm not allowed to eat that, and I'm not allowed to eat that, and I'm not allowed to eat that. When I go to restaurants now, I have the added problem of the fact that I am allergic to garlic. I have actually a low tolerance to garlic. And so it lowers my blood pressure so much that I sort of, it doesn't kill me. Otherwise I wouldn't be here. But it definitely has an effect on my body. And so what I do is I will open up a menu and I'll look at all sorts of things, but I know that 90% of the things I'm looking at have garlic in them. Why? It's the way people cook. So what I do is I will look at it and see some of the fun things that I would like to have eaten. And then when the server comes, I will say with a big smile, hey, I'm allergic to garlic. Could you ask the kitchen, what can I eat? You see, it's pointless going backwards and forwards with what I want to eat and them saying, oh, I'm sorry, that's got garlic in it. No, I'm sorry, that's got garlic in it too. I used to do that. Now I just go, could they advise me what can I eat? And you know what I found? The kitchens are really kind to me. They'll come back, the server will come back and say, chef said that, if you really would like the lobster, they can make you a special one without garlic. Or if you really would like the we can make that without the sauce that has the garlic in it. And they come up with all these incredible creative options. And I go, thank you. How kind. Please thank the kitchen. And that brings me to the next quote. The next affirmation is this: I deserve the best, and I accept it now. All my needs and desires are met before I even ask. Jody, I am blown away with the fact that you now I can hear that you deserve transportation, reliable transportation. I can hear that, right? And so every time your transportation isn't reliable, it inspires you, all right? It inspires you to do even more to create your own reliable transport. And I just, when I heard about what you're up to, I just smiled and went, that is no longer a victim. We now have ourselves an incredibly proactive human. And Jean is saying, I met another 72-year-old. Oh, meet another 72-year-old. Me. But we act young. Why? Is 72 old? Yeah, you see, so I want to tell you, 72 was old in my mommy's day and in my grandmother's day for sure. And I bet you I'm old to Juliana and the twins. It's all a perspective, isn't it? It's depending on how old you are. I found, my brother looked way younger to me than I expected. And by the way, if you haven't seen some of that footage, I'm got another one that I'm editing for you guys. But I took a little bit of footage of our time together. I didn't take a whole lot because I got a feeling that he didn't want that. So I just did a little bit here and there, and he seemed to be fine with that. So I hope that some of you have got a couple of smiles. And what we tried to do each day was do something new, do some walking and learning. And so, we sort of went to new places. Within the plan for each day, we walked, normally to find an ice cream. You know what I mean? And, we could say, yeah, we walked. And walking to us was going more than 2 blocks, obviously. But if we were on a mission to find an ice cream, it was amazing how much we could walk. And then, did we learn something? And, it was a great way. By the way, if ever you have a visitor to your town, it's a great way. Where can you take them that they will never have seen before? How can you walk? Get some exercise in, because you're bound to eat better when you've got visitors. And the third one is, what can we learn? Not just the visitor, but yourself. I found being a visitor in my own local area was amazing. The things that I'd never done some of these things. And by the way, when I do the next video, it's the scare ourselves stupid day. I picked the first day was cultural. The second day was, the first one was cultural in terms of the areas. And then the second day was historic. And then, and it was sort of each day had a theme to it. And it worked really well. Perhaps the most famous of all of Louise Hay's affirmations is this one. All is well in my world. I can hear her saying that. And, if any of you get a chance to, check her out on YouTube or whatever, she used to say that so much. All is well in my world. Yes, and it's nice, Jean, saying that a friend of hers told her recently that she's a good storyteller when she's a lecturer at church. Yes, that's a great gift, isn't it? To be able to tell a story well, even if that story comes from the good book. Do you know, it's interesting that I remember somebody saying to me, Sal, you missed your vocation. You should have been a minister. And it's so sweet because I've heard it many times, and I will look at people and say, what makes you think I'm not? You know what I mean? It's like, if you think about it, we all are ministers. I think, as we've proven today, we all have an angel inside us that does good things for other people. But I also believe we all have the devil in us too. The trick is keep that one down a bit if you can. Today, I listen to my feelings and I am gentle with myself. I know that all of my feelings are my friends. All of my feelings are my friends. So even when you are scared, that is a friend. Your fear is trying to help you, if you can see it that way. Right? It's trying to warn you of something. And if you can see that, then fear no longer becomes the enemy. It becomes your wake-up system. I need a plan B here. I obviously don't have one because I am fearful. Does that make sense? And can any of you give an example of where your feelings were your friends? Do you have any examples? Jean's saying that positive steps always help. Yeah, I found this week that somebody close to me was in a very agitated space. And something happened that caused a possible conflict. And I literally inside my head was going, they are in a really funny space this week. Do not go into conflict. Do not do this to yourself or to them. Just back away. Back away, but do it kindly. Don't have a snit and do it kindly. Because this person is not in a good space. And, I was, things were happening where I was being made wrong and I could feel it was a transference of sort. And I just went, it's okay. Not your stuff. So my feelings were, I could feel my reaction inside myself and I went, whoa. You don't have to go there. I know why you're feeling the way you are. You hear an attack coming, but you don't need to defend. I was quite amazed I was able to do that. I think that's another thing that I would encourage us all to work on. Less defensive. More, I presume, the best. And the next affirmation says, every person, place, and thing on this planet is interconnected with love. I am at home with the universe. And as I was saying, I can go walk in the sunshine and the rain if I am at one with the universe. I can walk 5,000 steps inside my home if I don't use the excuse, well, I can't get exercise, it's raining. You see, if I am at one with the universe and go, well, There are all sorts of ways I can get extra steps in today. Maybe I do some blitz cleaning. Maybe I start doing some more packing, and then the little gremlin's going, but you can't pack up too much because your house still shush, 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 shush. I can still make it even tidier. I can use those muscles. And Louise Hay also said this: as I forgive myself, it becomes easier to forgive others. As I forgive myself, it becomes easier to forgive others. The more we love ourselves, the more we will love others. Wellness is the natural state of my body. And I look at that is so true. Because if we are in a natural state, we will not be eating lots of crud. If we are in a natural state, we will be, being aware of our, one of the things I talk about to people is my resting heart rate. One of the greatest things I did for myself was to get a fitness watch. It has taught me so much about myself. And one of the things I look at is, what is my resting heart rate? And because that tells me where is my natural state, right? And I just want to, sorry. And I can feel when things happen that it will push my heart rate up. But my question is, can I bring it back down? And as you will see, I've had a lot of stressful things going on, but my resting heart rate is still around 60 average. And that's pretty good for somebody my age, or so it tells me. Where can I see that? Yeah, if you look here, it puts me right up. Sorry. And I can do this. I can't get back to it. Isn't that funny? But you got the idea. The idea is that, yeah, there we go. I'll try not to touch it. As you can probably see, I'm right at the top there in the green area, 29 to 33, which is excellent for a woman of my age. All right, so Beth is saying she sets her Apple Watch to vibrate when her heart rate goes up too much, and it texts me to stop and breathe. Yeah, my watch, Beth, I think we did it once. My watch even has a 2-minute relax program on it. Does yours have that? It is one of the options as I scroll through. And it just says relax for 2 minutes. And if you press it, it takes you through a deep breathing exercise for 2 minutes. Yeah, and it works. It's really good. I wonder if this resonates with any of you. I look within to find my treasures. I look within to find my treasures. You see, we already have everything we need. I keep remembering that, right? I already have all the skills I need to be able to cope with what's going on. I already have the right amount of money to be able to do this transition into the next phase of my life. I already have lots of things packed up that I could actually sell and make money during the winter if for any reason I need to. I'm thinking, that I've got silver down there that probably is worth quite a bit of money. I've probably got jewelry down there that's quite a bit of money, right? All right, so Beth's saying, my co-workers think I'm crazy, but after my watch goes off, I stop and breathe, and now they just join with me. It's so funny because we breathe together. And by so doing, Beth, you are teaching them a brilliant skill. You see, I think that makes you a wonderful manager. Because what you're doing is you are teaching, you are passing on what you know. I know that you've told me that you even play DearMamaSal to them. But it's like you are teaching them what you already know. And I really believe that is the meaning of life in some ways, is to learn things so we can teach others, not so we can be better than the next person. Because I try to remember that my life would have been a lot easier if I had known some of these things 30 years earlier or 50 years earlier. And so that was my mission. How do I put these concepts into an easier way so that people can learn them and not be scared of them? How many of you can honestly say, I am surrounded by love? For a lot of people, you may have had a past where love was not what surrounded you. People betrayed you, people abused you, people maligned you. So you learned not to trust. And the only way to be safe was not to trust. But as you grow up emotionally, you realize that you decide now as an adult who is in your life and who isn't. And I want to tell you that I am beginning to really be aware that I want to be surrounded with people who actually enjoy me, okay? That love me for who I am. Maybe a small group of people, but it's the right group of people. And then I try to look at everybody that tries to mess with my mind, and I try so hard now to pray for them, to wish them well. And I wish that they could learn what I have learned before too much longer. Because I want to not give out negatives, I want to give out positives, because the more positives we give out, the more we get. Listen to this one. My self-esteem is high because I honor who I am. Beth, I wonder if you've noticed that your daughter's self-esteem has grown. And, I was thinking about that the other day. When you got in a space that was different, you were able to let her try more things. Oh, isn't that wonderful? And as you let her try more things, I'm certain her self-esteem, right, grew exponentially. And you must sit back now and go, Why didn't I let her do this years ago? You know, it was having the courage to let her fall on her face a couple of times that brought her to a place of self-esteem. She now believes in herself, yeah. And, you know, I'm certain that has helped you believe more in her ability. Listen to this one. I am the only person who has control over my eating habits. I can always resist something if I choose to. Isn't that a great one for me, right? I am the only person who has control over my eating habits. I can always resist something if I choose to. You see, it's all about choices, whether I'm obese or not. No, I keep thinking to myself, I'm still going in the right direction. That's what I said to myself. I am allowed to do this slowly as long as I continue to do this in the right direction. And as you can probably see, my direction is going down. This incredible leap up was when they couldn't find out what was going on with me. But, you know, if you look at the overall, you know, there are lots of ups and downs in it, but it's going in the right direction. And I can see that that is because I am making better choices. Not perfect, but better. Beth is saying, we sit one day a week where we just hang out together. We have a new relationship, more than mother and daughter, but we can actually love each other for who we are. Isn't that beautiful? I think that's wonderful. Louise Hay said, I take in and I give out nourishment in perfect balance. So I think that's what you're doing to your daughter. You are nourishing her in a very positive way, and that in turn nourishes you. Now, this next one, I have a little bit of an issue with, and I don't mind admitting it before I start. The affirmation is, I am beautiful and everybody loves me. And the gremlin on my shoulder is saying they got a darn funny way of showing it, some of them. How many of you saw the vlog where I took a picture of a notice I saw in a store? Dear Karma, I have a long list of people you missed. I had great difficulty taking a picture of that because I was laughing so much. I'm going, I don't know why, but Jody, you came to my mind. I could see you saying that. Hang on a second. Let me give you my list of people you missed. I don't know why I thought of you, Jody. I mean, I could just see you saying it. Carmen, you and I need to have a little chat. You just weren't looking in the right places. And I say that with a lot of love because, you know, I know you are such a kind person, but I also know you have this karma list in there somewhere. So my mind and body are in perfect balance. I am a harmonious being. How about this one? Every decision I make is the right one for me. See, I think it's something that we all need to learn if we don't already know it, and we all need to help other people learn. It is fine to ask for other people's opinion. It adds to our knowledge base. But the truth is, we make our own decision in the end. And it's not right for us to go back and say, well, you told me to do that and it didn't work, so, it's your fault. No. No, we made the decision to go with that decision. It's our learning. Every decision I make is the right one for me because sometimes it's something I need to learn. All right? Even when it goes wrong, there is learning there. I experience love wherever I go. Loving people fill my life, and I find myself easily expressing love to others. I genuinely enjoy going. I used to hate going shopping. I now genuinely enjoy it. I do all sorts of fun things. I will walk down an aisle and actually look people in the eyes and smile. And you can see them going. And then they go, oh, it's me. Okay. They'll smile back. Some of them are going, but that amuses me. So that was worth it. And then I'll go down the next aisle and I'll keep my chins up and I will lock onto somebody and just smile. And the most amazing thing, when I was out with Big Brother Jeff, there was a woman who stopped me when I did that. She actually touched me and stopped me. And I said, hello. And she said, I've got to stop you and tell you something. And I said, okay, what? And she said, you have the most amazing smile. When you smiled at me, it changed the way I felt inside. And I said, wow, how wonderful of you to tell me that. Because the feeling you had, I now have. You passed it forward. Thank you. And my brother's going, oh my God. And then some of you will be amused by this, but we were at the winery. Some of you will have seen that vlog. And my brother was doing his I know it all about wines thing, because he does. And he's having this big conversation and everybody is focused in on him because he knows what he's talking about. And I was taking a bit of footage, for the vlog so I could show you guys. And then the lady who was running the thing said, I see you were using your camera. And I said, yeah, I do a little thing on YouTube. She said, what? I said, well, I'm what they call a YouTuber. And she said, really? And I went, yeah. She said, something like, do you have any followers? And I said, yeah, a few. And she goes, really? And my brother's going, and then she said to me, what do you talk about? I said, I try and help people with problems. Well, I want to tell you something. 3 people who had been serving my brother stopped, came right in front of me and went, okay, fine, now listen to this. All 3 of them had an issue. And I just listened. I listened to the first one. And when I finished listening, I said, so what did you do? And she told me, and I said, well, that sounds like it was the right decision for you at the time. She said, well, actually, yeah, it was. I said, great, well done. Okay, what was your problem? Anyway, and my brother's sitting there, standing there like this, like, how does that happen? And by the way, I wasn't being very smart. I was just being me. And being me was enough. And so today I'd like to close with this one. And some of you may relate to this, and some of you may want to relate to it. I forgive myself and set myself free. I forgive myself and set myself free. I forgave myself for eating a Mars bar and a vanilla slice with Jodi's encouragement. And you know, there was freedom in that. When I can stop making excuses, I realize that I am setting myself free. When I just deal with the truth and go, it's okay to just tell the truth. I am scared. It's okay. Or when somebody attacks me, that I can say, you know, that hurts. But I understand that's your opinion. I can forgive myself now for all the days I didn't understand that. It's just their opinion. Doesn't make it right. And in doing that, I do know to a very large extent, I set myself free. And I hope some of you can feel it too, for yourself. So I am off to go serve dinner. And for those of you who keep track, it is a chicken pot pie sort of thing today. And it tasted really good. And it smells even better. So now I'm just going to go and serve that up. It's good comfort food for a rainy day like today. Jody's saying, thank you for this Soul Sunday, Sal. Thank you, everybody, for being here. And I hope to see you all again soon. Take care. And Jody, we thank you for being the admin for us all and helping us, keep track of everybody and do everything. Tube, it is always a pleasure to see you and always a pleasure to have you in the broadcast. Please come back again. To all of you who may have been ghosting, in other words, watching or listening to this on the replay, that I do not know that you were there, please feel free to leave a comment and let us know if this helped in any way. Because sometimes the comment that you leave is the one that helps somebody else. So this is DearMamaSal saying thank you to all of you who contribute to the broadcast. Beth, where would we be without you? I really need you to know that you were always, it's a big word, but you're always juxtaposition. When I think about me trying to lose weight and there's you trying to keep it up, it's just such an interesting thing of balance. It's a juxtaposition where not everybody is trying to lose weight. Some people are desperately trying to keep it on because they are the Energizer Bunny and didn't realize it. But in that you were my inspiration this week because I'm going, do more Beth, be more Beth, and you will lose, you will use more steps and you will, end up strengthening those muscles that you want to strengthen. So everybody have a wonderful, peaceful week. And it will be made peaceful if we can control our minds. If we can, at some level, continue to give ourselves the positive affirmations that we deserve. How many of you are thinking you could sit here and listen to these probably for quite a while? And that is why I will do more of them in the future. If you found that you enjoyed them, let me know if you did. Remember to look after one another, but please, above all else, remember to look after yourself. Bye-bye.